Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome all of you and thank you for joining us here on National Medal of Honor Day. Just a few minutes ago, many of us were at the Tomb of the Unknowns, where we bore witness as several of our nation's most honored military heroes, Medal of Honor recipients, discharged a sacred duty by laying a wreath to pay tribute to all Americans who have served, and especially to those who have paid the ultimate price in their service. It was, I don't know how many times and I don't know how many ways we can express the patriotism of being an American like you see it at the tomb on a cold and snowy and somber day in the eternal solitude of Arlington National Cemetery, with the sweet strains of taps playing in the air. In the old guard, come rain, come wind, come shine, come snow, performing the way they do in front of hundreds of Americans. I hope, if you weren't out there, I hope you get a chance to see it. If you were there, I know you share the pride in being Americans and the pride in standing there with a bunch of Medal of Honor recipients. It's the greatest joy in life. We're privileged to be in the presence of 30 of those people, 30 Medal of Honor recipients. And we're deeply honored to welcome three recipients, this year's three recipients, of the Citizen Service Before Self Honors program. I'm also honored to recognize the Boeing Company for its support of the foundation ever since the inception of the foundation in 1999. Boeing Company recently made a multi-year commitment to support this very program, the Citizen Honors Program, as the lead sponsor, and to provide further support for our education initiatives, including expanding the reach of our character development program. So on behalf of all of us, here to deliver our keynote address is the president of Boeing Network and Space Systems, Roger Crone. And Roger, on behalf of all of us, thanks so much for your company's support of what we're doing. Please join me in welcoming Roger.
Thanks, Ron, for your kind introduction. And it's my privilege to represent the Boeing Company and its 170,000 employees here today. For nearly 100 years, Boeing has supported the brave men and women of the United States military. We are honored to partner with the Congressional Medal of Honor Society and the Foundation's Citizens Honors Program, and to help expand the reach of the Medal of Honor Character Development Program. I'd like to welcome our invited guests, including all of the Medal of Honor recipients who are in attendance today. But I would also like to ask that we take a moment to recognize the courage and sacrifice of the 24 soldiers who were awarded the Medal of Honor by President Obama on March 18th for their service during World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Thank you. We are here today on this hallowed ground to recognize this year's recipients of the Citizen Service Before Self Awards. These awards serve as a critical purpose in our society to honor the selfless service of everyday citizens. Often in today's world, the word hero is used too easily, and its meaning frays in time and becomes lost. Gathering here at Arlington National Cemetery, the final resting place for so many who have faithfully served our nation, we renew its meaning by celebrating the actions of the heroes who are all around us. People who, when confronted with extraordinary circumstances, made a decision to act. and whether that decision was a split-second one by a teacher to sacrifice his life for students during a school shooting, or the bravery demonstrated by an Eagle Scout to save his drowning friends, these citizens, these heroes, possess the strength of character to act. They chose to put the interests of others before their own. Most of us will never face that situation, never face those challenges. We have all thought about how we might react if confronted with such a defining moment. And in our hearts, we all hope we would do the right thing, but most of us will never know. What we face, however, are those moments in life. Do I take my elderly neighbor to a doctor's appointment? Do I volunteer to coach my daughter's soccer team or help clean up the local park each spring? Do I help returning veterans integrate back into society? Do I become a better person? And do I help build a better community? That is why these awards are so important. They serve to inspire us to be better people, because that's what heroes do. They inspire us to reach beyond what we thought we were capable of and provide an example to emulate. They remind us that the truly important things in life require sacrifice, dedication, and most importantly, faith. Be it in a higher power or simply faith in something larger than oneself. And that's why we honor them, and that's why we need them. We need our heroes. And whether they are veterans or teachers or Eagle Scouts ultimately doesn't matter. What does matter is what they reveal to us. The better angels of our nature, as President Lincoln so eloquently stated. More than 50 years, Eleanor Roosevelt published You Live by Learning, in which she wrote, "Courage is more exhilarating than fear, and in the long run, it is easier. We do not have to become heroes overnight, just a step at a time, meeting each new thing that comes up, seeing it as not dreadful as it appears, discovering we have the strength to stare it down." Those words are as true today as they were in 1960. The people we are honoring today didn't intend to be heroes. In some cases, they simply reacted in the heat of the moment, and in that crucible revealed their true character. Others simply refused to stand by and see those who served our country with honor and distinction struggle with the transition back to civilian life. They answered each in their own way Mrs. Roosevelt's challenge to find the strength within themselves to make a difference in their communities. Going forth, the challenge to all of us is the same: to learn from the examples set by the people we are honoring today and apply it each in our own way to our own daily lives. Thank you again, Ron, for the privilege of being here today for this event. One cannot help but to be inspired by the actions of those we honor. Please welcome Medal of Honor recipient Drew Dix for the presentation of the awards. Drew.
Thank you, Roger. This past October, the Medal of Honor Foundation started work on looking for nominations to receive the Citizen Service Before Self Honor Award. We went across the country and visited with the leadership of all states, schools, fire chiefs, police chiefs, and the general public looking for nominations. We were overwhelmed at the magnitude of this search and response. In every part of the country, there were those that were worthy of being honored and being recognized. The Medal of Honor Foundation, with some Medal of Honor recipients, screened hundreds of applications. And it was narrowed down to a group of 20 recipients, possible recipients. This group was looked at by Medal of Honor recipients. And the very difficult part of this process was to narrow it down to just 3. These individuals that we honor today with citizen service before self are Americans who faced extraordinary circumstances with unwavering courage and in some cases risked their lives to help others. These honors will be presented today in the presence of my fellow Medal of Honor recipients. At this time, I'd like to ask our president, Harold Fritz, Jr., to join us on the stage to present these awards. And now I'd like to ask fellow Medal of Honor recipient Tom Kelly to the stage to present our first Citizen's Service Before Self Award posthumously to Michael Lansbury. I'd like to ask Sharon Lansbury to come forward, who will be accepting the award on behalf of her husband, Michael. Nevada Middle School mathematics teacher Michael Lansbury distinguished himself through extraordinary heroism by shielding students from an armed 12-year-old boy who opened fire at Sparks Middle School on September 21st, 2013. Upon seeing the armed student, Michael walked calmly to the boy and tried to talk him out of his handgun, giving the other students time to flee. During this act of courage, Michael was fatally shot. A devoted father, a former Marine, and a member of the Nevada Army or Air National Guard. Michael had celebrated his wedding anniversary the previous Friday. He had served a tour in Afghanistan with the Nevada National Guard and was well known in the school community. He went above and beyond to protect the lives of his students, sacrificing his own life, an extraordinary act of selflessness. His heroic actions reflect great credit upon himself, his family, the community, and the state of Nevada. Our next Citizen Service Before Self Award is bestowed upon Connor Stotts. To present this award, I would like to invite my fellow recipient, Wes Fox, to come forward. Eagle Scout Connor Farland Stotts distinguished himself through extraordinary heroism on the night of a church barbecue in Oceanside, California, when he rescued 3 friends in danger of drowning. 17-year-old Connor and 5 others were swimming on July 31st, 2011. when a strong riptide pulled them out to sea. Connor, a junior lifeguard, knew about riptides and techniques for escaping them. He sought to advise the group, but his friend Belle was exhausted and asked for help. Connor pulled Belle to shore and left her when she had solid footing. He returned to do the same for his friend Christian. The third time he helped Karen, who was losing consciousness. He put her on his back and sometimes held her arms around his neck to keep her from slipping off, leaving him with only one arm to swim. Connor risked his life repeatedly to save the lives of his friends. His example of courage, selflessness, and unwavering commitment in the face of life-threatening conditions is an inspiration to the community of Oceanside. His actions reflect great credit upon himself, his family, and the state of California. Our final citizen service before self-honor is for ongoing service and will be bestowed upon Troy Yoakum. To present the award, I'd like to invite my fellow recipient, Hershey Miyamura, to come forward. Troy, please come forward. During his deployment to Iraq, Army Operation Iraqi Freedom veteran Troy Yoakum was saw the after effects of battle as he watched his colleagues struggle with depression and post-traumatic stress. Upon returning home in 2009, he made it his mission to help veterans struggling with PTSD and depression. He embarked on a hike for heroes, walking 7,880 miles across America and helping to raise $1.3 million to support over 1,800 military families. In 2011, Troy founded Active Heroes, a 501c3 charity with 4 programs, including lifetime assistance funds for wounded veterans, a fitness team building program with 10,000 active veterans, a community program repairing over 25 homes for military families, and a healing program to build a 144-acre military family retreat in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, to combat the veteran suicide epidemic. Troy Yoakum has gone above and beyond to improve the lives of America's veterans throughout the United States. His selfless service reflects great credit upon himself, his family, his community, and the state of Kentucky. finished that one task and he's ready. I know when I speak for my fellow recipients and I say that how the words on those citations inspire all of us to, that remind us that doing the right thing in a time of need can sure make a difference. We're proud of all of you, and God bless you all, and thank you very much. Here again is Ron Rand.
Thank you, Drew. And thanks again to everybody for coming out and helping us observe this remarkable national holiday and celebrate these three remarkable Citizen Honors awardees. What a privilege it's been. This is my first National Medal of Honor Day ceremony, my first Citizen Honors Award ceremony. I promise you it won't be my last. We get to spend time with our nation's most hallowed heroes in our nation's most hallowed ground. And we all pause today in busy lives to recognize great heroes and great Americans. We'll now gather the Medal of Honor recipients and the Citizen Service Before Self Honors awardees for a photo. And then for those of us in our party, we'll go back and get on the buses and head back for the hotel. Thanks again, everybody, for coming out, celebrating with us today. God bless you all, and God bless America. Thank you.